What's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Man Up Real Talk podcast. I am your host with the most, Mr. Michael Wiley, saying greetings and salutations to all of you, our faithful followers and listeners. Look, I just appreciate all you guys for hanging out and joining us in on today. If it's your first time joining, I want to say welcome. And if it's your second, third, fourth, fifth time or whatever, I say welcome back because your boys is back on the air with the Man Up Real Talk podcast, the podcast for the people. Listen, before we go any further, I just want to say thank you all for all your support. However you do to support this podcast, every like, share, click, download, listen. We don't take that thing for granted because we know that it wasn't for you, there would be no us. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Daniel, you're bored. I understand. You know, you're counting down. I appreciate you keeping the countdown going. I got to say what's up to Jackie. What's up to Sister Regina. I see Mitzi out there, and whoever is watching and just haven't commented, we appreciate even the lurkers out there, those that don't even want to be known that they're watching. We appreciate y'all as well. Listen, as you can see, I'm not by myself because joining me as always is my partner in crime, my man, Mr. Philip Hines, aka Mr. Classic. What's going on with you, my friend?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Welcome back. You guys had a well-needed staycation. I mean, hope y'all enjoyed yourself. You look refreshed.
Oh, yes,
you
I
look
am.
new. You got a certain melanated glow about you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, man. I mean, we was out there for a week, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was so peaceful where I was at, and like I got up every morning, drank my coffee, and on my back deck, it was a golf course. So I sat and watched golf in the morning because, you know, those old white men, they be out there like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning playing golf.
Oh, wow.
So I would just sit there on the back deck, you know, because we had an inside grill and all that and everything. Just sit at the table drinking coffee, and I'm looking out my window, and I'm watching the old white guys play golf.
Getting their
So
golf.
It was real peaceful. It was great. Me and Jake plan on going back, taking the grandkids and Kennedy, and taking grandkids to go out there.
That's what's up. I'm glad y'all came back and went to your destination and came back safely. Listen, I think we got a good show for today. Got some great topics. Again, we appreciate you all coming out and hanging out with us. If you don't already do so, please follow us on social media. Y'all know you can follow our podcast page at Men Up Real Talk Podcast here on Facebook. And listen, you can now access all of our audio podcasts directly from our Facebook page. All you have to do is when you go to our Facebook page from your mobile device, just scroll over to podcasts, and every last one of our audio podcasts, you can listen to them directly from Facebook. You don't have to go looking for LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, but TuneIn or Stitcher and all those things. You can get it right from Facebook. It's a one-stop shop. So if you ever want to check out some of our older audio podcasts, go right over to our page, look up podcasts, and they are all right there. You can also follow us on, other forms of social media like Twitter and TikTok and all that good stuff. We there. Listen, if you want, you may see us wear some of our snazzy t-shirts from time to time. If you ever want to copy one, you can go right over to the manuprealtalk.store and get you a t-shirt and support this podcast. Many of you have already done so, and to you I say thank you very much. We appreciate you and all that you do. And listen, YouTube, man, if you're a sports fan and you like some football talk, please go over and like our YouTube page, because now every Wednesday we got Moving the Chains when we're talking Bears football. It's me, Phil, and our boy Sean. We be going into the games and, having some, just talking football. So if you're into football, if you're into sports, it's a show for the fans by the fans. So why don't you check us out on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. That's Moving the Chains exclusively on YouTube. So let's get right into it, man. John Gruden.
Hey,
there's some news in the mail. I mean, there was actually there was some news in the mail. But there's some news that he left. He officially left the Raiders on today. I'm trying to figure out why that is.
Hey, you know why?
Why?
Hey man, listen, let's be real. Mike Davis, the owner of the Oakland Raiders, who is the son of Al Davis, he gave him the option to resign because he was gonna have to be fired. He had These were emails from 10 years ago, but he had made some racist, misogynist, and homophobic emails. He even did a homophobic email towards the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell. It all started when he called the NFLPA president, which is black. He talked about his lips like they was tires or something, and then he tried to cover it by saying that that's what he mean when he went. That's what he mean when he say someone's lying, which was a lie. And then what happened was people realized was when he was talking, he said there's going to be more stuff that might come out. That's before we got to learn about the emails. So he was going to be fired, Mike. He was going to be fired. But Mike Davis gave him the option of resigning.
Why does this not come as a surprise to me?
It don't.
It's
also a teachable moment, Mike. I'm going to get to that once you get through.
The truth of the matter is that these are issues that's been constant in the NFL, right? And they're issues that's not going to really get fixed because it's just the culture of the business, right? Look at and the fact that it took this long, I think, says everything that you need to know about the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, he's been sending emails like here's how things work out. The investigation wasn't even really based on him and the Raiders. The investigation started with with the Washington football team, and they happened to come across these emails that John Gruden sent. They was like, well, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden now they started looking to some of the stuff, and it goes all the way back to 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And he all type of emails when he's making all kind of statements, racist statements, misogynistic statements about women, all these kind of things, statements about the LBGT community, all of these things. What's the gentleman that was drafted in 2014, and it was something Sam, and he came out and said that he was gay, but I don't even think he ever even played in a game. Why are you on mute? You're on mute. You're on mute. Okay, maybe he doesn't know he's on mute. But he didn't even play in the game. This guy was sending emails, and he was talking about how he was forced.
Sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. That was my son.
Oh, okay.
He coming to get something from me, so I might have to step away for a hot second and come back. Okay. So I'll let you know I turn my camera off.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, carry on.
No, I was just saying, man. I mean, he talked about that guy. When he openly came out and said that he was gay, he sent emails about that.
About the Sam guy, Michael Sam.
Man. Oh, he talked about him. He talked about him.
That's why I said the dude was a big enough person to let him resign. Yeah. Because he was going to have to fire him, Mike. And to be real with you, I don't see him coaching in the NFL ever again. And it's going to be about 5-6 years before you get a job on one of these sports channels.
Let me say this. If he get a job back before Kaepernick or Newton get a job back, I'm going to be really upset. Because it's not going to change until the culture of the business change. They're not. And this stuff has been going on for 10 years, and nobody has said anything for 10 years. And I am willing to bet, since this is, since we talked about Las Vegas, I'm willing to bet that he ain't the only one.
No.
He can't be the only one.
No.
Right? Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. And this is exactly my point. When you're talking about the culture of the NFL, this isn't something that's new. It's not something that like people don't understand, especially with Gruden. Gruden has always been a racist. He's always been like that.
Keyshawn Johnson, he was talking about him today. He said he always came off as a fraud.
That's crazy.
He said he always came off as like a used car salesman.
Now, Kurt, now he's some of his now expectation.
I'll be right back, Mike. Right back.
Man, look, let me tell you something. If he's employed before Cam Newton or well, I don't think Kaepernick is coming back. I think that's a whole nother subject with Cap. I really think that Cap could have did more, kind of more than what he did, but that's a whole nother show topic. But he's probably going to get a job before Cam Newton gets a job. And the sad fact is that this is just the way. This is the way, as they say on The Mandalorian. For those of y'all that watch that, this is the way. And it's always been like that. He had an issue with the guys protesting on the sidelines, and said that, like during the national anthem, and said that all of them should be fired. Every last one of them, they should be fired. And this is and people are surprised. Like, I'm sitting up there and I'm watching the news and I'm watching these sports stories, and people are like, they're surprised.
Why are they surprised? Why?
And I'm like, why are you so surprised? Why? Oh my God, a stunning moment in sports this morning. John Gruden resigned as the head coach of the Raiders. It was a good time. You just lost to the Bears. You ain't necessarily been riding high. So it's like, hey, let's go ahead and let me just go ahead and leave. Better you resign than me to fire you publicly. Hey,
yeah,
man,
that's why I said. That's why I said Mike Davis, man. Mike Davis gave that man a chance to resign so he wouldn't have to fire him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he goes back to, with the Raiders family. You know what I'm saying? With the chunky mess and all that. So, but had he not resigned, he's going to be fired because it's some things that he said. And when you make homophobic slurs about the commissioner,
right,
of the league where you coach, it's not going to be too good for. And then the sad part about it is, you got to look at all your black players, them knowing that.
Right, come on.
What do you say about me? But let me say this to all you bright boys out here.
Wait, to what? Are you talking about the light skins?
No, the bright boys.
Oh, okay.
Just because they smiling in your face and telling you how you're not like those other ones, don't think that they like everybody else. Just because Bob is talking to you at work and inviting you to family barbecues and all that, don't ever think that Bob don't have tendencies. Just being real.
Wait, what is a bright boy? I'm confused.
Bright boy, exceptional nigga. You seen the Django?
I've never heard that term before. Where did that come from?
You seen the Django?
Oh,
bright boy, the exceptional nigga, meaning he's not like the rest of them. And there's a lot of bright boys running through this world right now thinking that I'm different because Bob speaks to me at work.
Hey, Django told him, he was like, listen, he said everything that came out of Stephen Mouse was a bunch of BS. He said, but he did have one thing right. I am that one nigga in 10,000.
Exactly. You was that one in 10,000
love that movie,
nigga.
just in case y'all can't figure it out.
Yeah, but Mike, like I'm saying, I'm sorry, people, I had to leave all that. But like I was saying, it all comes down to you never know how people truly feel. You might think you got a clue,
but I don't understand. But you know what though? It's really funny how you can feel that way about people, and then you literally are dealing with them on a daily basis.
You had it very well.
Like these guys, these are guys that's going out there every Sunday, every Thursday, every Monday, and they're putting their bodies
willing to run through a wall for you,
willing to run through a wall for you, and you could care absolutely less about them.
And you think they lips look like Michelin tires?
Michelin tires. He didn't even say Goodyear. You ever seen the Michelin Man? You know how stuffed he looks? He didn't even say Goodyear tires. He said Michelin tires.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But this is a teachable moment, black people. I'm being honest with you. Some people don't like when I bring up this type of stuff, but I'm being serious. Like, don't think because Bob is smiling in your face at work that Bob loves your people. You could be that exceptional nigga. You could be that 1 in 10,000.
Now, Eddie said that it comes down to these cults or cultures that grow and propagate in our society. The hidden part is that most are controlled by privileged white men. And that's it's a truth.
That's fact, brother.
It is the truth. Curtis even said, if you think about it, every person that's the color he is goes away for a while, then returns and seeks forgiveness, and is given to them, and then all is forgotten about. Now, that is true. I give you a perfect example of that. Hulk Hogan. Now, y'all remember when
he got carried away too.
When the thing with Hulk Hogan, he got caught in 4K, and they had a recording of him talking about this dude and was throwing the N-word around like it was a boomerang, bro.
Wasn't he dating his daughter or something?
I think his daughter was dating some
yeah.
I think she was dating somebody black at the time, and he was talking about these rap guys, and I mean he was really throwing it out there. And what happened was the WWE parted ways with him. They took all of his memorabilia off the website, his t-shirts, his videos with him wrestling, all of that stuff. They took it all down. But later on down the line, Hogan came back. And, they kind of integrated him back into the WWE. And it's just like Curtis was said, it was kind of like, all was forgiven. And he went on to still do what he always did.
But Curtis just brought up a good point, though, Mike, because it seems like that always happens. Like I said, John Gruden might get another job with ESPN or somebody next 4 to 5 years. They're not going to instantly hire him, but in 4 to 5 years, you're going to see John Gruden on somebody's TV screen. But as far as NFL coach, I can't see that happening. I can't see that. I can't see nobody even touching him after this.
Yep. And you know what though? Like I'm torn with this particular subject, not because so much as because these are like I think it would be different if this was like an email, like let's just say if it was like a single email that he sent out like 10 years ago, and that was like the only one, right?
Man, he said somebody emails.
I know it was plural, bro. But I'm just saying, let's just say if it was like the one he sent the one thing out, and all of a sudden it came to light, and and it was just like, yo, he said this and he said that like 15 years ago. I'm always leery of that because I think about sometimes like if somebody was to go in my past and finds and look for something that or stumble across something that I may have done, how differently would people look at me? And do I deserve the benefit of the doubt to say that, maybe I've changed over the course of years, right? In his case, however, this has been continuous for the last 10 years.
10 years.
And there's evidence of it going back for 10 years. And he has consistently said it and consistently done it. And the thing is, though, is that I'm like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that he's not the only one doing it, because for it to be tolerated this long and nobody said it. The fact that you had some coaches that didn't want their players to protest says everything that you need to know about the NFL.
But you gotta realize what the NFL is constructed of. Only the play is very few black coaches. You have all these white coaches, and then you have all these white owners, and then these are old, like we said in previous podcasts before. Man, you have old white men, and a lot of them from them southern states. And let's not get it twisted. Up here in the Midwest, also, they have a certain mentality, and that mentality is you a boy to them. Yeah, I smile on your face.
Yeah.
You heard the Carolina owner said the prisoners, we can't let the prisoners run the asylum.
Can't let the prisoners run the asylum.
Come on, man. I mean, like I said,
it can't get more blatant than that.
I'm not somebody that I don't hate white people and all that, but I'm not green as a blade of grass. I'm not gonna sit back because Bob and Herbie smiling at me every day at work, that they love me so much. But then when something come up, a certain topic come up, you understand how they feel.
Yeah.
And then a lot of us, bright boys, because we're put in a position where we feel like we're better than our people because we're making just as much money as Bob and Herbie, we kind of start thinking like they think.
Stephen A.
That's the misconception. A lot of us black folks, we lose, we lose who we are, the higher the status we get. Now we got a lot of brothers that get in that high status and use it to help their people. But it's a lot of us, and people don't want to hear that. It's a lot of us that get in our certain positions, and we forget where we come from, and we start thinking that we're better than our own people.
Oh,
just like when George Floyd died. George Floyd died. You get all these black folk, what they want to do. They go put up profile pictures of them with some white person. Talking about don't see color, see the human being. How we can't see color when the news and everybody else saying unarmed black men are being killed by white police officers?
Look, because man, color.
I just don't. That really irritated me because it's a lot of people that I know that did that, and it really irritated me. Like, okay, a police just stood on a man's knee, the man neck with his hands in his pocket, and all y'all can do is go post a picture with you and your white buddy or white co-worker. No, that was, in my opinion, that was not called for at that time. But you get a lot of people that get in their positions, they feel that those are not my issues no more. I'm doing good. I'm making just as much as Bob.
Now, Eddie said, don't try to figure out the mind or try to compare yourself to a white racist because they are conditioned from childhood to see things through a bigoted lens. The owners, the coaches, and some players in the sports will only see us as ninjas.
And that's the truth, Eddie. That's the truth.
It is what it is, man. It sucks.
Like I said, racism is never going nowhere. We can march, we can boycott, we can stop, we can take down 1,000 statues. We can take out certain words out of the national anthem. We do all that. Racism is here. It's been here. It's been here since our ancestors got off that boat. It's been here since no folks went to Africa and took us out of Africa. It is, and the whole thing is, we as black people cannot be sitting there being comfortable thinking that, oh, it can't happen to me. Yes, it can. You are a black person in this world. Don't think that you're special. No matter how much money you got or where you live or what status you got. Trust me, everybody get that nigga wake-up call, i.e. Bill Cosby.
Yeah. And look, this is what I'm saying. It's just the way of the world, man. When you got the president making statements.
He did, Eddie. He did.
When you have the president making statements the way saying the stuff that he says, and it's just like, man, this president, what can you do? And it's like I'm always disappointed when I hear stories like this because it's just like Curtis said. I really know that it's not going to result. It's not going to result in
nothing, man. That's why I say you just have to
going to change.
You have to, being a black man, you have to walk around with your head on a swivel, man. You have to be. Yeah. You just have to be prepared for anything. It's sad that we are the only race that we have to be like little children. Almost. You gotta go through a doggone 20-step plans with your sons before they walk out the door.
Yeah, man.
No white men are doing that to them sons. To their son, their sons just going out freely. But you got to sit Gabe and Mo down. Mo, he's driving. You got to tell now when you drive, when you do this, come on, man.
You don't even know.
No other race is doing that, Mike, but us.
You don't even know how many times
we have to do that to our sons.
I've had that conversation.
And not even to our sons, Mike. We have to do that for ourselves.
You gotta do it for ourselves.
You being a man.
Yep.
And really, you have to act like almost like a little boy. Because you're scared that you might get killed or get arrested because of police. I mean, it's crazy. That's why I say, man, it irritates me when a lot of us get in our certain positions and start talking that, well, no, racism ain't. No, because I work with, just because that man invited you to a barbecue, don't mean that he love you.
Don't hate on me because I ate some potato salad with raisins and you didn't.
Nigga, fuck potato salad with raisins. You ate some potato salad with raisins for real?
No, dog.
Oh,
If
you
I ever,
nasty.
now I did try some stovetop stuffing once. I did.
It is. It's an illusion, Curtis.
Yeah.
It's an
Now
illusion to us, brother. It's an illusion to us.
it's very interesting that he said this. Though. It says truly said that the word equality is floated often, but it's an allusion to every person of color. You know, that word equality is something. It's something, bro, and it's something I don't that when I look at it, I just be like, all right, whatever. I don't see it. I don't see it. But and that's a good segue because a lot of the issues with this next topic, you know, tries to stem from equality, right? So I want to kind of talk. I want to kind of talk about Dave Chappelle.
The GOAT.
Yeah. Listen. So for
Dave,
those,
that dude, Mike. Dave is that dude, man.
listen.
I'm the guy that got off the bus and left 50 million on the bus and walked. Powerful, nigga.
Uh, so if you all are if you all have been like if you really haven't been listening to the news recently, trust me, I understand because the news is just depressing.
Yeah, it is.
But
News depressing now.
you know, Dave Chappelle recently released his last special his last special that he has signed with Netflix to do called The Closer. And much like his Sticks and Stones is much like his Sticks and Stones special, he was very he was very open in regards to how he feels about the LBGTQ community, or as he refers to them as the alphabet people. This last special, he did not let up. Although he said, "I'm not telling any more jokes about y'all until we can come to an understanding and that we're laughing together." But he went in on him again in this special and everything. And once the special came out, you know, the LGBTQ community, especially the trans community, was up in arms. Of course, they called. They were saying that it was this is the rant of a homophobic, and he was homophobic, he was transphobic, and he's promoting hate and violence and all of these things. And these people are looking to get him canceled, and not only try to get him canceled, but they want his show pulled from Netflix because well, I'm gonna be honest with you. They want his show pulled because he made a joke about them. That's why. And it just goes back to the old saying that it's funny until it's about you.
Mm-hmm. It's no fun when the cats got the gun. When the rabbits got the gun.
Now, I'm almost certain that you have a lot of people, these very same people in the trans community. They sat up there and they probably listened to him tell jokes about other things and other people and most likely laughed.
Yep.
But now, because he's been coming at them the way he has, they want him canceled. And if I am to be completely honest, and I'm sorry if this is offensive to anyone that's listening or anyone that may listen in the future, I really didn't see anything. I really didn't have a problem with anything that he said. Do you know how many racist jokes about black people I've heard and laughed at? Do you know how many fat jokes I've heard and laughed at? Because I didn't take that stuff seriously.
But people really didn't get the premise of what he broke it down, and really he was giving you the reason why he felt the way he felt. He started with the baby. He said the baby killed somebody. He said you could kill a nigga and don't be canceled, But you say something about the LGBT, the alphabet people, you get canceled.
No, but that's not. I mean, I understand that's part of it, but the bigger picture is that the letter community wants to force you and I to partake 100% in their reality.
But you know what, Mike? It's not just them. Can we be
Yes,
honest can we be honest real quick, Mike?
Go ahead.
Who you think run everything?
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that, you know, when I'm just talking about how you look at the way that it is. It's like think, why are you so upset with the joke that he told? Because here's my thing about this, right? You look at, and it was something that he said that I thought was really profound. First of all, the whole term about being transphobic or homophobic, because I've been, believe it or not, I've been called that, and I'm fine. If that's what you want to call me, you can call me that. But see, the whole thing is, like, you have to look at the word phobic. Phobic means fear.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're calling me a transphobic, you're trying to say that I'm afraid of the trans community? I'm afraid of the gay community? Oh, no. I don't fear you. I don't fear no man. I really don't. There's nothing about you that I'm afraid of. But the thing is that that community automatically thinks that if you don't agree with them, if you don't participate 100% in what they want you to participate in, if you don't agree with their version of reality, then you hate them and you fear them. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. We live in a society where people automatically, like, think about it. Think about the word hater and how casually it's thrown around. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You could sit up there and say, like, man, Mike, I was watching, I was listening to the so and such and such. I was listening to Kanye, and man, this CD dope. And I'll be like, man, Kanye mid. Yeah, all right. You know, or I can say, I didn't like that too much. Man, you a hater.
You hate, Mike.
You hating. It's like, how am I hating because I don't like it? Am I hating on broccoli because I don't like broccoli? I mean, I like broccoli, but I'm just saying, just because I don't like something, I have to hate it or I fear it? That's crazy talk.
Yeah, Mike, but, you know, it goes back to, you know, like I said, we can be real about it, man. They run everything, man. They run everything.
I know they run everything.
And that's why their agenda is getting pushed. And that's why their agenda is getting pushed so hard, because those are the guys, those are the ones pushing the button. Now, Dave made a point, even at the end. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to this, I can say nigga all day.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody laugh.
Right.
But let me say something about the alphabet people. Now everybody in the uproar.
Right.
I'm gonna let y'all know, man. Dude, y'all can't count. Man, walk away from $50 million. You can't counsel nobody like that.
It's not even about that. You can't counsel them. The reason why you can't cancel
and the Netflix CEO said,
the reason why you can't cancel him is because he's speaking truth.
Yeah.
It's not like what he's saying is an opinion. He's speaking truth. And Eddie even said it in the comments. What white America has done, they have replaced the civil rights movement with the plights of the alphabet community.
Exactly. That's the new civil rights movement.
If anything, we that are not part of that community, we don't fear you. We're not scared of you. What we are, we're jealous of you, if anything.
That's what Dave
because
said.
Your plights, your complaints, your agendas have been almost quelled in record time. And we're still getting killed by police. We still have problems within our educational system. We still have problems with whereas there's a gap and there's an economic gap between us and our white counterparts. There are still issues that the African American community people are having, and issues that we have been vocal about for years, and no one has turned a listening ear. And all of a sudden, you all come along, and because you feel, I feel this, I feel that, everybody has jumped on that bandwagon. And it is about to, and this wave of I feel is about to drown everybody.
But you know what, Mike? Every movement that jumped on the civil rights movement back when, you know, Martin Luther King and all them was doing it, every movement that jumped on that movement with our people have surpassed us.
Oh, I know.
The women's movement, the gay movement,
the Me Too movement. Look how quick the Me Too
every
movement
worked. Every movement have bypassed that lets you know what this country think about us, because every move, a guy went and beat up a Chinese somebody. Guess what? That was a big thing a couple months ago or whenever. So every movement have surpassed our movement. We're still at a standstill where everybody else getting what they want.
And here's a very valid point. They're all led by white men.
Yeah.
All of them. All of them. And then now you got people talking about, oh, we want Dave Chappelle canceled. This trans lady, I forget her name, Jacqueline something. She's white and she's trans, and she is the showrunner for Dear White People, which is a show about black people telling what. I'm like, wait a minute, she runs that show?
Yeah. They got rid of her behind too.
They ain't get rid of her. She still run it.
No, didn't they suspend her?
No, she still runs that. She runs that show, and she went on record and said that I'll never do anything for Netflix ever.
Well, who was the one Netflix just suspended?
Netflix had is she suspended? Because I know it was some people that worked for Netflix.
Yeah, they got they got suspended.
They got suspended
because CEO got Dave Chappelle back. He said we not canceling nothing.
They was trying to come into a meeting that they
that's what I'm saying. They stormed into a meeting and they all got suspended.
But I don't think she was part of it. This lady was this is somebody else.
Oh, okay. Well, I know there's a couple of those alphabet people that busted into that meeting and lost their jobs. I know that. That CEO of Netflix, like, listen here, Dave ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, her name is Jacqueline Moore.
Okay.
And I don't think she was part of that group. She was somebody completely different. But yeah, so
now Eddie just said yes, she is suspended as of today.
I have to make sure I look up.
I know some people went in there trying to snap, and they were like, "Listen here, we keeping Dave, but you expand him." But come on, people. I mean, the whole thing is about it's simple like this, man. What Dave really is trying to show you is that you can say one thing about one group of people and it's cool, and then you can say one thing about another group of people and everybody getting an uproar. And that's not fair. It's not. And plus, these guys are comedians. This is what they do. There was a certain thing called jonesing back in the days.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like now it's this certain agenda where and I really don't want to fall off into this, but we go on this route, so I gotta say this. The people that's pushing these buttons, they have an agenda that they're trying to push. That's why you see all the black men popping up in dresses. That's why you hear people tell you to smile itch, because there's an agenda to demasculate the black man. And nobody's listening. Nobody listening. And they've been doing this for years now.
People listening. I mean, you just got people that, that look at it like, nah, maybe you reaching, because guys have been wearing dresses for years. You look, I mean, as far back as I can remember, my dad used to love this comedian. My dad and my mom used to love this comedian named Flip Wilson.
Yeah, Geraldine.
And he had this alter ego named Geraldine. He dressed up as a woman. And that was his thing. And you've seen people do it all the time. You know, Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. Tom Hanks, when he was kind of first starting out, he had a sitcom called Bosom Buddies, where he and his roommate used to dress
Buddies. They used to come on Channel 7 right after Three's Company.
Right after Three's Company. You know, so I don't know if it's so much a plot, but I know there's definitely I believe that there's
an agenda being pushed, Mike.
Yeah, and I think exactly, Eddie, and I think a lot of people, you know, but too many they just kind of they fall for the whole like, it's not real, you know what I'm saying? But when I see people when I see certain things and like I give you, and see this is, and I think this is why people kind of look at me or call me you know, homophobic or transphobic or whatever. I remember we've had this conversation before. And first of all, I have gay people in my family, and
we all do, Mike.
Some of which I love very dearly, right? But one of the prayers that I prayed, like when my boys was on the way, I said, well, Lord, look, I said, just don't let them be gay. And it wasn't that I hate gay people, but I knew that I wouldn't know how to process it.
You don't want a gay son.
And it's not because I wouldn't love him, but it's just like I wouldn't know how to process it, especially with me and having Christian beliefs and things of that nature. I would not know how to process it, right? And that was just a prayer of mine. But I never looked at that like, oh my God, I hate gay people. You hate gay people. That's not it. I really don't. And it's the same thing with trans people. It's like, and he kind of said it in the thing. It's like, you know, all of us at one point in time has come from in between a woman's legs. You cannot produce a child. You may feel like a woman, and if that's how you feel, that's fine.
Those hormone shots.
I mean, but if that's how you feel, that's fine. But there are just certain things that you just cannot deny. There are only two genders in this world. It's male and female. It's just how it works.
Yes, sir.
It's how it was. This is how the world was created. Now I got no problem with you feeling the way that you feel. You want to dress up the way you want to dress up, and you want people to acknowledge you as a woman and everything. That's fine. I'll do that. But I'm only going to go so far. I'm only going to go so far. Now, that don't mean that I'm not going to treat you with respect. And that doesn't mean that I don't think you deserve to be treated with respect. But only expect so much out of me. And that's just real talk. You know, so because of that, I'm viewed as homophobic and transphobic. And if that's how you feel, that's fine. I'm not trying to change your mind.
But how would that make you feel? How would that make you transphobic and homophobic?
Because the trans community, look, y'all got me messed up because y'all be trying to get you to change your whole pronoun game. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to figure out.
I'm not gonna
sit up here and try to figure out. Do I recognize you as them or they?
No.
Or us and we. It's no. I'm no.
I'm not doing it.
No,
you can't do it. Now I will respect you. I will respect you for whatever you want to be, but I'm not going to go on this extensive research of what I can and what I can't and what you supposed to call this or I'm not doing all that now.
It's too, and then it's like, where does it end? Where does it end? Because every time I look up, there is a new gender. It's you're besides transgender, you're gender fluid. You're it's gender neutral. It's all of these. and then every one of them.
I don't even take time out to learn all that mess, Mike.
Every one of those have another subcategory to go under that, and it's just like, how? Where does it stop?
I ain't doing all that. I'm not.
And it's just because, and it's because people are in their feelings, and they say, "Well, I don't want to be restrained to social constructs." What are you talking about? You're you were either born a male or you were born a female. You were either born with reproductive organs or you were not born with reproductive organs.
Either or.
I'm just saying, and it's not rocket science, and I challenge anybody to prove to me that it's more than two genders. Prove to me that it's more than two. And if you can honestly prove to me that it's more than male and female, then I'll accept it.
No, can't nobody prove that to you, bro. You know that. Nobody prove that. But I'm not. But to be honest with you, Mike, I'm not doing all that. Like I said, I respect you. But I'm not gonna go through all that trying to figure out what type of fluids and gender, whatever you said. I'm not, me personally. I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing no extensive research about nothing. I'm gonna respect you, and that's it, and that's all.
Now, this is interesting. He said affirmative action was designed to allow people of color to get a fair opportunity. White men and women were taking jobs and opportunities that they were not qualified for. The LGBTQ community has been co-opted to get a white man or woman back in front of the line. And Dave tried to address that. Absolutely. But see, they don't want to hear that truth. They don't want to have that conversation. Because the only conversation is they want to have is that, you're being mean. You're being offensive. I'm offended. Why? It's just like he said. He said, listen, trans women, he was like, I mean, I get it. He was like, but they equipment,
He went to story with his friend though, the Daphne. I know,
but I'm
chick.
Right. But I'm just saying. I'm just trying. He was just like, it's not the same. Look, and this is probably a far-fetched analogy, but it's just like turkey bacon.
You just will not leave turkey bacon alone, Mike. You would not leave that turkey bacon alone, Mike.
Bro, it's just like turkey bacon, son. Listen, if bacon ain't coming from a pig, it's not bacon.
I agree with you, though. I agree with you.
Turkey bacon may feel like it's bacon. It may act like bacon. You may cook it like bacon.
Turkey bacon is horrible.
But it's not the same.
Look like cardboard pieces.
It don't taste the same.
Once you cook it up like cardboard, turkey bacon is horrible.
I call turkey bacon low self-esteem bacon because the turkey is always trying to be something it's not. You're turkey. Be turkey. Why you gotta get burger? I'm just saying. Why you gotta be bacon?
Turkey bacon is horrible.
It is the worst. Just be bacon. That's all I'm saying. And so it's but because of my views, it's like I'm villainized.
No, you have a right to your own views. That's what makes us individuals, and that's a freedom that we have. Constitutional right that we have.
I don't feel that I have to. I just don't feel that I have to sacrifice my conviction to be compassionate. Because this world has fooled us into thinking that if we don't like something, we automatically hate it or we fear it. And if we love something or somebody, we have to agree with them 100% of the things that they do. Yeah. And that's the furthest thing from the truth.
But I've been saying that for years, Mike. When you're someone that chooses to have your own opinion on things, they quick to say you're a hater, you're mean, you're bitter. If you're not agreeing with the popular opinion, something is wrong with you. And like he just said, no, you never compromise who you are. Yeah, you never compromise your opinions and your thoughts because you're not being your true self. if you're not being honest. If I'm gonna go along just to say something because that's what everybody else saying.
Just
not
because
me.
Just
never
just
gonna
because
be
it
me.
makes you feel comfortable. I mean, Jesus Christ. If the world did stuff just to make black people feel comfortable, do you know how much better off we would be?
And that was the whole point. He said, listen, I'm not punching down on nobody, but what I want y'all to do is stop punching down on my people.
Stop punching down on us.
And that was the premise of everything.
And then he even showed them the error of their own ways when he was talking about the trans lady who he had befriended, and he put this woman up. He put this woman up to open up one of his shows.
And said she was
somebody who he didn't have to.
Nope.
And he said that she bombed
because she didn't have that much. She really wasn't even experienced, but he put her up there, and she went to go defend them. And they dragged her on Twitter.
Was right. So afterwards, and he was like, but the thing is that she was really funny, And he said, but she just had horrible material, but she was a funny person.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and what was funny was the show after she had came down and bombed, and he came up. He said the show actually was better because it was kind of like he was asking her questions. And going over his things in terms of the stuff that he felt and the things that he believed, and it was like a back and forth that they had that he had never had before.
Exactly.
And then later on, the Sticks and Stones special came out, and the trans community was the LGBTQ community was up in arms, and they were going after him, and this trans woman spoke up for him and was like, "No, he's not like that. You got to get to know him. He's not like that."
And her so-called community
and the trans community bullied this woman. They bullied her because she was defending him for almost 6 days straight, because that's just how much people was talking about. She was constantly going to bat. And 6 days later, she jumps off a building and kills herself.
Yep.
Now, I can't honestly say if it was because of what was going on or if they bullied her. She may have had some other things going on in her life.
He said that she probably had. He thinks she had other issues going on in her life,
and maybe this was the tipping point. But the very community that she represented bullied her because she was trying to get them to see that, listen, he's not like that. But it's easier. But see, ignorance it's easy for ignorance to look at things just one way.
Because we do that to each other. Black folks do that to each other. When we don't agree with each other on something, we start bullying each other.
And you're right, Eddie. They did. They blamed it on him. Tried to make it sound like he was the reason that she committed suicide. And that's crazy talk. So this whole thing. And then can somebody look? I don't even remember the name of the thing of the organization that's trying to get him canceled. What is the Black Justice?
I ain't never heard of it. I have never heard of it until I saw that article. I never heard of it.
Black Justice League Coalition.
I never heard of it. I never. Eddie, do you? Eddie, ask Eddie. Eddie, do you know? Do you know anything about that, Eddie?
What is the name?
I need brother Eddie to answer that.
I don't even know.
Maybe he would know, because I don't know. I never heard of it until that article came out.
I'm like, is this the Black Justice League or the Black something coalition?
Brother Eddie, have you ever heard that before?
He said it's a white old
group that is used to keep us pacified. I knew Eddie would know something about that mess. That's my first time hearing about that mess until I read the article. Like,
the National Black Justice Coalition.
Like, where did they come from?
I've never heard of them.
They the all these versions of NAACP?
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. Jasmine talking about some Mr. Black BS.
It got to be the generic NAACP. Like, okay, who is these people?
All right, so I found a website, but I still don't know I have no idea what they do.
Never heard of them. Ain't never seen them do any type of march.
So here we go. So the National Black Justice Coalition, or the NBJC,
NBJC
is a civil rights organization dedicated to the empowerment of Black, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans individuals.
So it's a Black gay group. I mean, listen. Hey, listen.
I don't know.
It's like having a black friend when you are racist.
Hey, let me introduce you to my Negro friend here. This is NBJC.
Hey man, listen. I ain't never heard them people.
I've never heard of them until they was like they trying to get they were trying to get Dave Chappelle canceled.
When was they created, man? How long these folks been in business, man?
Apparently since 2003.
Man, they been low key for a minute, huh? Some niggas been low key. Boy, y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all wait till Dave come out and y'all want to get big and bad.
I mean,
all type of stuff that jumped off. But Dave made y'all come to the forefront. We gotta do something about this. Hey man,
I've honestly never heard about them at all.
I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Dave Chappelle's been through so much, man, where he's untouchable, people, and he don't care, and he's truthful, and that's what's missing in this world. A lot of folks that has big platforms that's not being truthful on them. So we need more people that are being truthful. And Dave, he's true. That's why people love him. That's why he's great, because he's truthful in everything he's saying. And the main point is you can't be so cool with me talking about this group of people, and then when I start talking about that group of people, it's a problem. It got to be a balance.
It's almost like if the NAACP had like a gay spinoff. That's what. No, I'm just saying that's what this would be. I mean, just for me.
Did you say the NAACP had a gay spinoff?
If they had a gay spinoff, that's what this would be. I mean, that just for me reading their agenda, I'm like, all right.
He said they had a gay spinoff.
And that's probably why people think I'm homophobic, and because I say stuff like that.
Man, bump that. That was funny. They just got to be mad. That was funny.
I'm just saying.
No, Mike, but I wouldn't consider you. I wouldn't consider you being a homophobic for having your family.
But that's because you know me.
Things.
That's because you know me. So you know when I say stuff like that,
mess.
You know me. But if somebody that didn't know me heard me say something like that, oh my God, he's a homophobe. I'm like, all right, whatever. No, you know what? I was saying the same thing because. You know, I would love to know who they've helped or went after for equal rights, and why make your first statement against a black man? Why not some of these white dudes?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Eddie. Where have they been? They've been in since what, 2003?
Apparently, man,
we had 1 million black men get killed. We had all type of black on black crime. We had women getting raped and all type of stuff. Where y'all been?
But they weren't gay. And that's
right. Yeah, that's right.
They weren't gay.
But the whole thing is, Dave said something about that too, and I heard somebody else bring it up. They want us to fight for them.
See, listen,
but they never fight for us.
Listen to one of the things he says: ensuring that all Black lives matter. As civil rights, racial equality, and criminal justice transformations take center stage in the new Congress and Biden-Harris administrations, the NBJC is prioritizing legislation that applies an LGBTQ and SGL inclusive intersectional lens to ensure that all Black lives matter and are centered in what becomes law, and that we support the shifts in practice required to honor that all of our lives matter in the theory and in praxis. So we are co-creating a nation where we all can thrive.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what they saying?
Yep.
That's what they believe in?
Yeah.
I'm like, Brother Eddie, where y'all been?
Man, that's
y'all say all Black lives matter about 3 or 4 times that thing. Where y'all been?
Yeah, apparently Dave don't, because
where y'all been, man?
His livelihood doesn't matter.
Yeah.
His life doesn't matter because he made a joke about the letter people.
I just want to know where they been, man. Where they
That's
been?
wild.
Where y'all been? Where the LBGPGC? Where y'all been?
Stop.
I ain't see y'all out there screaming all Black Lives Matter when Floyd died.
Right. I agree, Eddie. All these are great words, but what have they done since
Exactly.
Listen,
what have y'all done since 2003?
You know what? We are so.
Dave say something that made y'all get the kahunas to step to the forefront.
We are so bad. All right, Ed, we appreciate you popping in, man. We are so backwards though, y'all. And I really just
I'll let you, Eddie.
I think this is a bigger issue. This issue they're making this issue bigger than what it is. I've heard people like, yeah, well, Dave just don't get it, and this is stuff my dad would have said back in the day. It's not like what he's saying isn't true. Maybe you don't like how it sounds. And that's the thing, because we're so conditioned now that everything has to be so politically correct, and you have to make sure that you say stuff that that's palatable for everybody. Everybody gets a trophy for participation. Nobody loses. Bump that. You came in second place. You was the first one to be last.
Mike, I've been saying it for years. We live in a soft and sensitive society now. No one wants to hear the truth.
Yeah.
Keeping it real is telling me everything I want to hear.
Eddie,
that's what keeping it real mean.
Let's do that, man. Let's try to plan it for next month. And let's really get into it, because I'm sick of being villainized for how I feel.
I'm cool.
I'm tired of it.
Let's set that up for sure.
I'm tired of being villainized for how I feel. And I may lose. And look, and some of y'all may not even like it now. And it's fine.
But Mike, the whole thing is no matter who likes and who don't like, you have a right to your own opinion, Mike.
You got a right to my own opinion. And
that's what you need to realize. I mean, my mama and daddy told me a long time ago, not everybody gonna like you.
But to dislike me for the wrong, listen, I don't care if you don't like me, but when you dislike me based off of when I don't agree with you, or when my opinion doesn't align with your biases, it's like, come on, man.
That's where the problem fits in, man.
I'm fine if you don't have the same opinion as I do, but don't get mad at me because of that. Like, oh, you should feel the same way I do. No, I don't.
But see, Mike, that's why a lot of honest conversations on different topics would never be had, because that very reason that you're saying is going to stop them, because no one's going to want to hear no one else's opinion. And then, and that's the sad part. We live in a society now where me and you supposed to think alike, Mike. If you thinking different than I am, or I'm thinking different than you are, it's something wrong.
Something wrong. And that's crazy talk. I refuse. Y'all ain't gonna make me look. I'm not the one.
It's not me.
I'm just not that guy.
I am an individual.
I can't do monolithic thinking. I just can't. I'm not built that way.
I am an individual. I was born to stand out, not fit in.
Man, pretty much. So, it's just continuing drama, man. This whole thing is so silly. Gruden is going to get a job in a few weeks after,
he ain't going to get no job. No, he ain't going to get no job. No, I'm serious about that now. He might end up back on TV in a couple years. But I sincerely cannot believe anyone who would give this man a job.
He's going to be working next year. He's going to be working next year. He's going to be analyzing the game, calling people monkeys and everything else. I already see it happening.
Man, if they do that, man, that should tell black folks all they need to hear. But
you know what?
Once again, that's a teachable moment for all you black men and black women out here who feels because Becky and Bob is so enamored with you that they feel like that with all your people. No, you're just special.
It's just, it's just some real change just need to come about, man. But until, and that's in both of these instances, until people are really, really ready to sit down and have that honest conversation, it'll never keep
going on.
It's gonna keep going on.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, on that note, listen, that's it for us. Our time is now coming to an end. And as they used to say on the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse show, and now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. NEG. G, we gotta go.
Mike, just say bye.
Oh well. I was tired of y'all niggas anyway.
Mike.
I don't think the song actually went like that, but I'm
relax.
But anyway, listen, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us and partaking in this conversation, man. Your opinion matters.
Yes, it does.
Even if it doesn't align with mine, your opinion matters.
Everyone's
and
opinion matters.
That's how we keep the conversation moving forward, people. Don't listen. Don't compromise your convictions just because people don't like your opinion.
Don't compromise who you are to be liked by anyone either.
Don't be accepted by anyone. Man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stand firm in your convictions.
Yes, sir.
Hold firm to your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And let them keep talking.
Yep.
So that's all it is. It's a lot of mouth service. So I love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with us, man. We're going to do this again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel right here on the Man Up Real Talk podcast show. And on behalf of Mr. Classic, a.k.a. Mr. Phillip Hines, and myself, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boys because we out.
Peace.